We're talking today about Glassdoor's findings on diversity inclusion in the workplace, a study that was just conducted. And Sarah Stoddard with Glassdoor is with us now to talk about it. And Sarah, unfortunately, it sounds like discrimination is happening at work.
Yeah, absolutely. So when we dive into the survey that Glassdoor conducted this week, 3 in 5 US employees have either witnessed or experienced discrimination in the workplace when it relates to their age, race, gender, or LGBTQ identity.
So 3 in 5, that's a pretty significant number.
Yeah, absolutely. The majority of employees within the workplace are experiencing some form of discrimination, which is discouraging. But at the same time, when we look into the jobs data related to roles in diversity and inclusion, we're actually seeing a 30% year-over-year increase in hiring for D&I jobs. So while we're seeing a prevalence of discrimination in the workplace, we also are seeing action taken by employers to address creating more inclusive workplaces for everyone.
And that's the flip side, which is good, Sarah, the good news there. And as it relates particularly to the tech industry, what are you finding there?
Absolutely. So within the past year, we have about 800 open roles related to diversity and inclusion. And among that subset, about 12% of those, or about 100 openings, are within the technology industry in particular. Then when we look at the year-over-year increase, we're actually seeing a 48% year-over-year increase within the technology space for hiring for roles related to diversity and inclusion, which again is an encouraging upward trend that we're hoping that will continue.
So definitely, as we're seeing, the tech giants and so many tech companies now and startups and all of this coming on board, they're going to need more and more people that can fill these roles.
Absolutely. And in addition to the roles dedicated to diversity and inclusion, everyone should be playing their part in ensuring that workplaces are inclusive. There are roles specifically in the HR space and recruiting space where they might not have the job title of diversity and inclusion analyst, but they're doing their part to make sure that companies are addressing, making sure that everyone feels like they can really bring their full selves to work.
And in terms of, Sarah, did the study talk about, how employees feel like it is being addressed, or do they feel like their companies are addressing it?
Yes, so we actually found that a majority of US employees are actually wanting their companies to be doing more to address diversity and inclusion. So again, while it's encouraging to see that hiring is up, there are so many other programs that employers can consider to address diversity and inclusion. Open dialogue is key in order to make sure that companies are hearing what their employees are experiencing, as well as putting channels and resources in place to help them address diversity and inclusion. So that could take the form of employee resource groups, monthly discussions with the company, highlighting some of people's stories and how, their unique attributes, as well as adding to the channels and resources available to employees to report discrimination in the workplace.
That's great. That's what I was going to ask you about, is what can be done. And there is certainly a lot of room for growth here.
Absolutely. I think, again, having that open dialogue about what discrimination looks like and the fact that it's happening will help enact change. If we don't have awareness about what's going on, then it's likely nothing's going to change. And so, again, having those open conversations within your organization about what diversity looks like, what can be done about it, we hope in the long run will help make sure that employers and companies really are creating inclusive workplaces where everyone feels like they can bring their full selves to work.
Yeah, absolutely. And just like you said, having that open dialogue, just us talking about it and Glassdoor doing the study, that's what will, shine a light and really bring attention to such an important matter.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so key for people to feel like they can be themselves at work. There are actually other studies that claim that more diversity and inclusion within the workplace actually promotes more creativity, more innovation. And so really in the long run, it's a win-win for everybody.
Absolutely. All right, Sarah. Well, we certainly appreciate you being with us and letting us know about this. And for that full study, if you want to read it from Glassdoor, you can find that on our website at Tech Republic. Thanks for watching.